This is the show where we bring to you the trending issues and news that made it in Nigeria today. My name is Double Gift and I have Mr. Mustafa Abdul Malik with me in the studio. And like I said, we'll be discussing the trending news in Nigeria today. So we'll start off with this one on the political side that says Atiku versus Wike, Saraki, Lamido, Fayose, others takes sides. The crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party (PDP) due to the disagreement between its presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and Governor Nyesom of Rivers State has divided party leaders into two factions. Recall that the crisis rocking the PDP started after its presidential primaries, where Atiku defeated Wike, former Senate President Bukola Saraki, Governor Bala Mohammed and many others to clinch the opposition's party's ticket. The next is ASU raises hopes, gives condition to immediately call off strike. ASU on Monday issued a condition that will cause it to immediately call off the strike that led to the closure of many public universities in Nigeria. Professor Emmanuel Osedeke, ASU president, challenged the federal government to accept the University Transparency and Accountability Solution UTAS payment platform for it to call off the ongoing strike. Speaking on Channels Television on Monday night, Osedeke said the strike will continue unless the government accepts UTAS and honors the 2009 agreement. It also has it that ASU has been at loggerheads with the federal government for over 3 years over its refusal to honor the 2009 agreement it entered with the union. Some of the demands in the agreements include the condition of service of university lecturers to be reviewed every 5 years, issue of salaries and allowances, revitalization of public universities, university transparency accountability solution, and the alleged inconsistencies in the integral payroll and personal information system IPPIS payment platform, which government insists will be used to pay lecturers. The next is Hush Puppy. U.S. court postpones sentencing of a United States Central District Court in California has postponed the sentencing of Nigerian fraudster Ramon Abbas, Hush Puppy, for the second time. Hush Puppy was arrested in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, UAE, in June 2020 and subsequently flown to the US. Hush Puppy pleaded guilty to the charges in July 2021 and was ordered to remain in custody pending sentencing. The sentence hearing was initially moved by Judge Wright from February 14 to July 11 and has now been moved to September 21st at the council's request. The next story is mixed reactions as Femi Otedola backs Tinubu. Nigerian billionaire Femi Otedola has expressed his support for the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Ahmed Bola Tinubu. The businessman shared a picture of himself standing beside the former governor of Lagos State via Twitter and prayed that God granted Tinubu his desire to win the forthcoming 2023 presidential election. I am always excited visiting my great Waju, Ahmed Bola Tinubu. He wrote on Tuesday, may God grant him his heart's desires in becoming the president of this great nation. This show of actions as many flooded his comment section with their varying opinions. Lastly, we have 2023 Sani picks El Rufai's deputy running mate. The APC governorship candidate in Kaduna State, Senator Uba Sani, has picked Governor Nasir El Rufai's deputy, Dr. Hadiza Balarabe, as his running mate for the 2023 gubernatorial elections. So these are the stories we have for now. We'll go on. We will be discussing this news with Mr. Abdul Malik. Please stay with us.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we got it. Business news, sports news, politics, transportation, entertainment, environment, and all of it. Go to Aspheric TV for those content. Was you? Correct.
Welcome back. So, Mr. Abdul Malik, we'll start off with the PDP crisis, but let me quickly read something about the whole PDP controversy. It says here that loyalists of Governor Wike have called for the resignation of the PDP national chairman, Senator Iyorchia Ayu, stressing that the party's presidential candidate, party chairman, and board of trustees chairman, Walid Jibrin, cannot all come from the same zone. Reports had claimed that the party leaders had agreed that the national chairman would have to resign if a northerner emerged as the PDP's presidential candidate. While Wike and his loyalists call for Ayu's removal for peace to return to the opposition party, Atiku and his camp insist that the PDP chairman must remain until at least after the 2023 election. Saraki is reportedly leading some party bigwigs and stakeholders to lobby Wike and his supporters to accept reconciliation and support Atiku's decision to pick Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State as his running mate. However, Wike and his allies have maintained that Atiku must honor agreements where he promised that once the PDP presidential candidate emerges from the north, a southerner will lead the party. But Atiku's camp feels changing the party's chairman at this point will be dangerous to the party's chances in the next year's election. So let's talk about that, especially this last line that says Atiku and his camps feel that changing the party's chairman at this point is going to affect the party's stance
Yeah. If you observe very well, Atiku, right from even before they went into the primary, Atiku has been insisting on something that, look, as a party, what we should put before us is the victory, the party ability to go into 2023 context and defeat APC. And the only way we can defeat APC, right from then, he has been saying, look, instead of zoning, we should go for what will give us victory. And that is why, in his own wisdom then, he insisted that, look, we shouldn't talk about zoning if indeed we really want to fight APC and secure that victory. And at the end of the day, he worked towards that and he succeeded at the primary. So now we have a presidential candidate who is from the north, and we have Iyorchia Ayu too, who is also from the north. Then the board of trustee chairman too is from the north. It means PDP is entirely a northern affair, and that is why the Wike camp, they are like talking about removal of Iyorchia Ayu. But to be candid to ourselves, the primary election has been won. Wike's camp is aggrieved. If indeed he's a party man, he should look forward to what will give them that victory. Because now, if they talk about removal of Iyochayu, that alone, it will not bring peace, the desired peace in the party. And it's only, they just have to use wisdom to say, okay, look, we have a common enemy. That common enemy is APC, political enemy. I don't mean the enemy in terms of enmity, no. The common enemy we have in our midst now is APC. So, and since they have that, the only way they can think of going into battle with APC is when they have a uniform platform to say, okay, all of us, we have common interest. That common interest is our ability to continue as a party, a winning party that can give us victory in 2023. The way I'm seeing it, if they continue this way, there will be no PDP after 2023. That is what where we're heading to now. Because I don't see a situation whereby the condition that the Wike camp they are giving is practically impossible. And if they decide to go ahead just like that without pacifying Wike, it means they are heading for the doom. So the earlier the better now. They just have to come into term to say, look, we have a problem, a challenge before us. And that challenge is how to win that victory. Just like Atiku has been saying from the beginning that, look, we should go for what will give us victory. And as long as we want to get that victory, we shouldn't zone the presidency to anywhere. We should make it an open contest. And whoever wins, all of us, we should give that support to whoever wins. But you understand, politics is all about interest. If they decided to say, okay, we have the chairman of the party who is from the north, the presidential candidate too is from the north. Let's not forget that, look, before Wike started his political journey as a presidency political journey, the PDP chairman hails from his own state too, but he was instrumental to his removal. Eventually, he was removed, and when he was removed, and that is when he now signified his interest to vie for office of the president under PDP. Okay,
so this is it though.
Yeah.
It was earlier, as in it was an earlier agreement.
Agreement to say, okay,
that if another candidate emerged,
they should
then
shift.
Exactly. So don't you think they should honor that agreement?
You see, the fact is that whichever way, we all know that PDP is already in crisis. That crisis is like when you have a difficult task ahead of you and you want to change the music, the setting at the middle of the crisis. It means you go nowhere. Let's be sincere to ourselves.
Exactly. 2023
is just around the corner. 2023 is just around the corner. If the only way is, look, I believe that Atiku made mistake. Let's be sincere to ourselves. No matter what, Wike as a governor is different from Wike being a vice president. You understand? The mistake he made was he constituted a committee to say, look, the committee should go and scout for a running mate to me. And the committee tendered their report to say, look, after due diligence, we arrive at this. We put it at the vote, and Wike scored this. And you decided to disregard the committee. You now went and picked bidding. And that is why Wike is angry. You understand? So, but there is no two ways about it. We should tell ourselves the truth. If PDP is defeated in 2023, I don't see PDP existing after 2023. That is a fact. If PDP is defeated in 2023, that is the end of PDP. In fact, Labour Party has more chances because whatever the case, Peter Obi has become like a movement. Wherever he go, his political supporters, it's more or less like a cult-like supporters now. Wherever he go, they will still stick to him. And if he decides to stay in Labour Party, that is if he didn't win, eventually he will groom up Labour Party. I see more light in the Labour Party than in PDP. So, like Atiku had told them before, that look, if we are defeated in 2023, most of us will go into political oblivion. I don't even see Wike himself. If it's going to be relevant after 2023, that is if PDP is defeated. So in a nutshell, what I'm saying is this: they should see their unity has been paramount. If they are defeated, it means both of them will go down.
They will all go into extinction.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to ASU. In the news it says ASU raises hope for them to call off the strike that has been ongoing for a while. And then my question is, they've been raising hopes for quite some time now. What is the guarantee that government is going to meet up with their needs and then end this strike once and for all, because it has been concurrent for a long time?
I believe that, look, to some extent, government has been able to meet their demand. Because if you look at, based on from their meeting yesterday, the new, what they are insisting on right now is the payment platform. ASU, since last year or 2 years ago, they had developed their own alternative to IPPIS. They developed it and said, look, this is what we want. Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Auditor General of the Federation, Auditor General of the Federation, that is the office that manage IPPIS. They had told them that, look, all other government agencies, they must all be streamlined into IPPIS. Well, what ASU is saying that is this: that some professors, a professor that is supposed to be earning close to 400,000 to 500,000, senior professor that is supposed to be earning like 500,000, at the end of the day, after the IPPIS deduction, a professor is earning around 200,000, and nobody could account for that. Some are not even being paid. You understand? So, to solve that problem, ASU decided to develop their own platform. So, okay, this is our own platform. Instead of government to say, okay, bring it forward so that we'll see if we can integrate it into our own payroll system. Instead of the government to tinker with that, government is not seeing it that line. They are insisting on their own platform. And that has been their major gray area. One of the major gray area, apart from the issue of funding. The issue of the funding, even the issue of the funding, government is saying that, look, this is how much we are going to be paying in trenches. They had already crossed that mark. So the issue of this IPPIS and their own, is it a UT, something like that? I've forgotten the abbreviation. So they are insisting on that. But now what they are saying now is that if government can meet our demand and say, look, we are going to adopt this, integrate into the payroll system of the federal government, they are going to call off the strike. That is the condition they gave.
All right, moving on, let's talk about Bala Mohammed and then Femi Otedola. Femi Otedola openly supported Tinubu on his Twitter page, and then there have been a lot of reactions here and there. But this is my concern. I thought we all had freedom
to choose
whoever we wanted, and then this might not even be him saying that he's going to vote Tinubu in the elections. This is just him supporting his friend. It might not be, and even if it is his final decision, I don't know. Is this supposed to be a problem?
Well, I believe that I don't know. I didn't follow up the story on the Twitter to know the people that are trying to fault his decision. But if you probably, what some Nigerians are saying now is that Tinubu is not a new person. Tinubu has been part of APC, and Atiku too is not a new person. Atiku has been part of PDP and for a long time, and even APC too. So people are saying Peter Obi is a new person, but Peter Obi too has been part of PDP too. So, but when you have two alternatives, at least you say one is much more preferable than others. So if you look at it, a lot of people are especially the young ones on the Twitter, they are floating for Peter Obi. So, and I believe that probably those that are trying to fault Femi Otedola's choice, they should be among those Peter Obi. So, but we shouldn't forget, Femi Otedola is just one person.
Exactly.
He's entitled to his own vote. Whoever is going to vote for, I don't see it as a problem. But the problem will only come when you start pushing someone to say, okay, don't identify yourself with a particular person. When you start doing that, it will become so irritating.
Yes,
so they should allow everyone to his choice.
It's usually shown towards Bola Ahmed Tinubu's supporters. Even some Yoruba
Yeah.
actors and
Yeah,
people who came out.
they
to
came out. I
support
think
him.
some days ago they were being
Exactly,
attacked
the
just
same
like that.
thing.
See, the fact is this: we shouldn't tell ourselves, we shouldn't beat around the bush. We should tell ourselves the truth. The belief is that in Nigeria today, in the political space, the belief is that an Igbo man has not been president since 1999, and they believe that it's Igbo's turn to become president in 2023. But the fact is that this politics, you must work for it. Working for it, it doesn't mean that overnight you work for it. You must lay the foundation. You must network. You must lobby around, carry other ethnic, because as it is, no a particular, as it is in Nigerian political system, a particular among the three dominant tribes, if you like, win the whole vote from your region or your enclave, there's no way you can be president of Nigeria. You must at least win at least the two other dominant tribes and still carry around. So I don't see it's uncalled for to start talking about once somebody identify with somebody you're attacking. No, you should rather convince that person to say, look, I'm trying to convince you. See reason why you should support my own candidate, and see reason why you shouldn't support the candidate of your choice. Yes, your candidate of your choice is good, but at this moment, we need someone to stabilize and unify Nigerians. So when you speak in that kind of language, at least somebody will understand you, where you're coming from, than say, okay, once somebody throw up his support, you say, no, your support is not good. You start calling that person enemy, or, it's, to me, you are demarketing the person that you are trying to market. That is the way I see it.
Yeah, we should actually handle this whole thing with
carefully, because
and then allow each other freedom of expression.
See, let me tell you this. Prior to now, we had 2014 to 2015, a lot of electioneering campaign. In fact, a lot of people thought the person that will become the president of Nigeria, which is General Muhammadu Buhari then, is going to be like a messiah that will bring... but what do we have today? So we all desire for a Nigeria of our dream. And we can only get that Nigeria of our dream if we decide to understand ourselves. As long as we don't understand ourselves, we'll continue on this path of ethnicity. You talk, I bite you. You talk, I attack you. Like that, it will not take us anywhere.
Exactly.
It will not take us anywhere.
All right, still on the 2023 elections, the APC governorship candidate in Kaduna State, Senator Obasani, has picked Governor Nasir El-Rufai's deputy, Dr. Hadiza Balarabe, as his running mate for the 2023 election. What do you think about this whole thing?
Gift. I'm a man of peace. I advocate for peace. And if you are talking about peace, if there is no equity, you will always have disunity. And Kaduna has been an epicenter of crisis based on religion. The only way to avoid that is be able to pacify people, carry them along. Right from Governor Nasir El-Rufai, he set a bad precedent, and that bad precedent is still continuing to this level now.
In fact, with the same person.
With the same person. Although Hadiza, the current deputy governor, who is going to be the running mate to Senator Obasani, she came from the southern Kaduna, but she's a Muslim. But if you look at it very well, Kaduna is one state that is almost like 50-50 in terms of religion. But it means the southern Kaduna, okay, let me just use the language, the Christians in Kaduna, completely, they'll be shut out in 2023. So, but it's unfortunate, just like what is happening at the national level in APC, whereby they discover that, look, whoever will present, if that person is not a Muslim from the north, we are not going to get that victory. And they get that into their psyche. And it's what is affecting them right now. Peradventure, APC at the national level win. It means there will be disunity in Nigeria. That polarization based on a religion, it will continue to widen more. So the same thing El-Rufai started in Kaduna. He got away with it. How is southern Kaduna, or how is the relationship between the Christians and the Muslims in Kaduna now? So, and now he's still continuing on the same path to say, okay, he's inheriting the current, there's no way that Obasani will just take that decision on his own. I believe that El-Rufai was instrumental to that, and Obasani now is going to inherit the current deputy governor. You understand? That's the Kaduna is going to become completely a kind of a polarized more and more, instead of trying to like fuse together despite their respective religion, instead of to come together and have that unity in the unity despite the diversity. They are not going to see that. I thought that APC in Kaduna this time around would be wise enough to say, okay, let's balance it. Let's carry these people along. Let's work together. All of us, we are Kaduna. Let's work together as one. But unfortunately, they could not do that. Now, there are other alternatives. The other alternative is in PDP. The thing is that the Nigerian political space is always like this. Once a political party is in power, there is power of incumbency that revolves around it. That whatever the case, they can manipulate, they can do everything to make sure that they continue in power. That is always there. Otherwise, I don't think APC, if they think that they have, if really they believe that there is an opposition that could challenge them, they won't do it this way. They will look inward to say, okay, let's carry other people to along. Be it a Christian, be it an animist, be it anybody, carry it along. But in this case, they completely shut them out, which is not well. PDP should take advantage of this. Labour Party or whichever party that is there, they should take advantage of this to say, look, because in politics, once you could not work on your advantage, or your opponent will take advantage of what your loophole, and that is it.
But that might work out so much in their favor.
In their favor, but you will observe that in Nigeria's political space, it's a different ball game. No matter what, you see what APC at the national level they are doing. You see what the PDP are doing. Instead of them to harmonize their differences now, to say, okay, we have opportunity now. Let's see how we can. These people that cannot, we have already nominated our running mate. They cannot do it. And since they cannot do it, they are completely like saying this. Let's take advantage of it. But them too, they are not doing too well.
Make their weakness your strength.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, Hush Puppy, a U.S. court has postponed his sentencing again, and then this is the second time that it's happening. Yeah. So, Hush Puppy is a Nigerian fraudster. He was arrested sometime in June 2020 in Dubai, and he was moved to the US, and then he's currently in the prison in US, and then his sentencing has been moved again. What do you think about this whole movement? I don't think the United States is known for delaying.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't have details regarding the delaying, but all what we know is that they had already concluded all the investigation regarding. In fact, the Americans, the FBI, they're not like us here, whereby we do media trial.
Exactly.
They had already done their investigation before they even effect their arrest. They had already done everything investigation regarding his crime, investigated everything about him. So when they presented the evidence before him, the young man doesn't have any say again than to enter the plea again. Yes, he pleaded guilty. So, but right now, probably they are trying to look towards the case to see how because all along he has been being supportive instead of giving them trouble. So since he's supportive now, probably it's a legal team. They are trying to work out something more safe landing for him. That is my own belief. So, but I don't think he will come back soon. No matter the delay, he will still serve his jail term.
His crime was quite huge.
Yes, he must serve his jail term. Yes. I think based on what they are saying is about 20 years or 20-something years imprisonment. That is his jail term. So at the end of the day, he served his jail term, and when he's coming out, it's already over 60 years or thereabout. So the other one is the other cases that are linked to Hush Puppy. For instance, we have the DCP Abubakar, who Hush Puppy 2 was named him, and evidences were traced to Abubakar that he aided Hush Puppy at a point. You understand? So the Attorney General of the Federation here has already approached the court so that they can get that right to extradite Abubakar from here to Nigeria. So it's going to be an interesting case. Well, let's wish him well, because he has defrauded a lot of people. fraud. We call them in Nigeria here Yahoo Yahoo. So that issue of this Yahoo has dent Nigeria image internationally.
Exactly.
So the arrest is in order. And other ones too that believe they can make money through swindling other people, scamming people, they should learn that, look, no matter how long it takes, the arms of the law will see. Yes.
Exactly. So the sentence has been moved to
Yeah.
September. We'll see how that plays out for Hush Puppy. So that's what we have for today. My name is Dabur Gifts, and I have been with Mr. Mustafa Abdul Malik. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Aspheric TV on YouTube. Also follow us on all of our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are official Aspheric TV, and then on Twitter and Instagram, we are Aspheric News. Thanks for watching. Bye.
My name is Remigius Nwango, the National Leader Movement of Progressive Youths of Nigeria. I enjoy the whole world to subscribe to Aspheric TV on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter and Facebook. Let us build this big vision together. Thank you.